Have you ever set out for one place and ended up in another? For example, for the last 3 years, my wife Lisa and our 3 kids spent our family Christmas vacation in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Each year, our plane would depart from DFW International Airport on a direct flight, planning on landing safely in Jackson Hole 3 hours later. In 3 consecutive years, we boarded each plane and landed in 3 different states as our final destination. It became more like an adventure than a flight. Jackson Hole has a short runway surrounded by mountains, making it one of the most difficult airports in the country for pilots to land a large plane during a snowstorm. About 5 years ago, I found myself in the midst of a storm, surrounded by my own mountains, where I felt pressure from all sides. Business, family, legal. I was the common denominator in all of these problems. However, I had no idea how to make them go away. I failed to check my fuel gauge and ended up crash landing in a spiritual rehab after I hit the eject button in life. I made some poor decisions on the way down, and in order to eliminate the pain of living, I self-medicated to cover up the anger, resentment, bitterness, and unforgiveness in my heart. I asked a lot of bad questions like, why God why, and when God when, and I didn't know how to stop the endless loop of questions playing over and over in my mind. How do you make the best of every situation when you have no control? Take every thought captive, practice more self-control when unexpected things happen. Don't get caught in the trap of yesterday. Take your lessons into the future, but leave your regrets behind. Some of the greatest lessons in life come from the most difficult seasons. Now, I'm not saying I'd want to relive any of these experiences again. Nevertheless, I can say that things look different today, with an improved perspective that allows me to love bigger today. One of my favorite passages in the Bible says, and we know that in all things, God works for the good for those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. There's been a shift in my life's purpose, from being successful to being significant. And I want to make a difference in the people's lives around me. As a person of faith, I now realize that the only thing that we can take to heaven with us is other people. And we leave everything else here behind. The spiritual voice inside of me says there's so much more. So that's why I joined the John Maxwell team, because I believe that the best is yet to come.